I'm an everyday woman, 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 in every way, yeah, yeah. I'm living my life, living day by day, yeah. Are you an everyday woman?
Here's Everyday Woman.
Welcome to Everyday Woman. My Facebook Mommies group was all astir the other day, wondering if stay-at-home moms are wasting their education. Stacey, I'm going to check in with you because you're a career woman now, but there was a time you were staying at home, correct?
Yes, but it wasn't by choice.
Okay.
I actually got laid off when I was 8 months pregnant, and so I had to stay home. But to your question, there's nothing wrong with staying home if that's your choice, educated or not. And I don't think education goes to waste, particularly if you're a mom. So to your question, but yeah, I do.
Absolutely, and I think it depends on your family situation as well, because in my particular case, my background in education really helped me advocate for my children. So by staying at home, I could provide my experience and education to help them in school and get the best services they possibly could need.
Oh, what do you think over there, Madison?
Okay. No, I'm a if you don't use it, you lose it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you education is wasted if it's not applied. So, but does that translate into?
Can you apply it to your children?
Exactly. I mean, educations are designed to be well-rounded, so it can make you very organized. Yes. It can make you make good use of your time, be accountable for things.
Well, let me ask you this, Madison. Do you mean have an adult conversation? Because that I can support. I mean, if you're educated, you have a degree, and all day long you're looking at Sesame Street,
right?
That's one thing. But if you're having intellectual dialogue, that's another. So what's your point? Which one is it?
So it's a little bit of both, because I do think that if you're, education all around. If you get educated, that's absolutely fabulous. However, it's what goes into mothers once they become stay-at-home moms, because it's not always by choice.
Right.
Sometimes it's about having family, and family dictates what direction you're going to go.
Okay.
Right?
Absolutely. But don't you feel like you're losing yourself with your children?
But then but are there other people who lose themselves?
Well, I'm asking you because I'm curious. I don't mean to offend anyone, and especially somebody that's watching, you know.
Yeah.
But I know probably I don't have children, so everybody's probably going to hate me at this moment now. But I am so anti. I feel like it is a waste because.
Yes, I can see your point of view, and I understand that. And at some point, I think a lot of times mothers feel that way. They feel like they've become lost in their children.
Correct.
But you know what? I have a lot of friends who work in the industry, and they lose themselves in their career. You know, all of a sudden they move along, and they don't have any family. They don't have a good network around them because they were too busy working.
Well, I think too, if you use your education and your expertise, you've got the internet. The kids go to bed. They take naps. You know, they have play dates. You can go blog. You can stay informed. You can use another medium. You may not go the direction you wanted to, but
you got, Stacey?
Because I think that you've touched your nerve there. I think society, it's acceptable to lose yourself in your career, but to say that you're taken away from your children, you know, that's where you get those fighting words. And it speaks to the education point, because as parents, we're supposed to be end all to be all for our children. And I'm with Madison on that. At some point, we have to show them forward progression.
Well,
so
exactly. And to show them education is important.
Right.
And how you use it may change, but it's still there.
Well, I guess I'm alone on this because I'm not a parent. I don't have children, but all I do know is that with children, I wouldn't be able to do half the things I do.
Well, that's the truth of having children. That is the truth.
Don't sleep. So,
but it just changes. That's the point. Is whatever your talents and your background is, it changes. You can morph it into something else and include your family.
Well, but I'm pro not having children right now. So.
Well, there's a right time for everything. It's one of those things, like when you get to that point where you want children.
When I get there, I just don't want to lose myself.
I understand that. It's just what I was thinking when I said that earlier. What I meant is there are a lot of women who go out, they're very highly educated, and then they have their families, and then they feel like they have to let go of themselves in order to raise their family. And I agree that the focus shifts, but that doesn't mean that you let go of your education. It doesn't mean that you let go of who you are and what moved you forward. Well, there are ways to stay connected to what it is that. How many of you actually? Right. How many people do you know that went and got a college education that are actually doing what they got their degree for.
Absolutely. Things change all the time.
Right.
And you can always refresh your skills. You can keep your skills updated at all times. So, just because you're not using it at that moment, what you went to school for, doesn't mean you can't use it later or transition it into something else.
But the most important thing is stay current. See, what happens is when we stay at home, or mothers stay at home, and then we lose whatever our skill set. So I would tell every woman, if you're going to do that, stay current, stay abreast, study your craft.
Absolutely.
You definitely have a point. We have so much,
and I would hate for somebody to not get an education because they had the preconceived notion that it wasn't worth it and wasn't a good thing.
We have so much to talk about in this conversation, so don't go away. When we come back, we'll have more discussion on it.
Here's Everyday Woman.
Welcome back. We were talking a little bit about these mommy wars, and they really hit home for me, guys, because I'm just going through a transition. I've been working from home, and now I'm going to do a new project where I'm going to be out of the house a lot more. And I'm really a little nervous about it.
Well,
I know.
Sanita.
My baby. I'm going to leave my baby.
First of all, we're proud of you. I know this is a big one for you because she loves that baby.
I sure do.
I guess the question would be, why now? Because you were working at home, so what is causing you to move into a larger role?
It is a good time. He's 3, he's in preschool, so I've been working since he was born, basically working from home, but a lot of it I could do from home. And now, it's the first time where 5 days a week I'm going to have to get up early and be out of the house before he's even awake, which is also kind of hits me because I don't know how his morning was. It's hard to not know that beginning of his day.
I have no doubt that you'll adjust just fine. It may take a little while, but how is your husband? Is what I want to know. How is he?
Thank you. That was
what
the
kind
main
of change is going to be there?
And that was a long conversation for us to get there because he was just like, he's really busy at work, and he's like, you want me to take on more? So it was a lot to try to convince him.
How many hours are you going to be working with?
I'm going to have to get to the studio at 5:30 in the morning and then probably work till around noon. And then obviously, it's news related, so things are going to come up during the day as well.
And how many hours is your husband away?
He's a director, so he's going to be, he's got the full time.
Did that offend you when he said take on more? I'm stuck on that comment.
Exactly. I thought that too.
Because, you're transitioning, so take on more. What did that mean? And as a mother and a woman, what was your reaction on that one?
Absolutely, because as mothers, we do take on more for everything.
A lot more.
Because, it's going to be me still coming home and preparing him for his next day. All the lunches I'm going to be doing, all the laundry, that's still me. So to take on more, everything's going to be prepared for him, the lunchbox is going to be ready to go. That doesn't happen for me. No one does that for me.
I think it's time for husband training.
He's a good guy, so I'm not going to bash the man. So
no,
he's a good guy.
No, I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I just mean that to take care of and manage those kinds of things. That if he's got a few minutes, maybe multitask and maybe do a little apple slicing here or, whatever, just to kind of make it not quite so overwhelming for anybody.
Absolutely. It's been a long conversation, and he's finally, kind of wrapped his head around the fact that he's going to kind of enjoy being able to take him to school, Absolutely. So he's been missing out on that. So as much as he was fighting it, now he's kind of like reluctantly like, it might be a nice thing.
So there's no babysitter in this stuff, right?
Well, we have a not daycare. He goes to preschool. Oh. So it means, getting him up and getting him ready, dropping him off at preschool. So it's a rough morning.
How do you feel about that distance that's going to now be put in place? Because he is 3. I've heard the general rule is if 1 day for every year your child is. So if they're 1, it's 1 day in preschool. If they're 2, it's 2 days in preschool. If they're 3, it's 3 days.
No, he's
going in full time now.
He's 5 days. It's not a full day preschool. He's home at 2:30. So I will still get my afternoons with him, and it's a perfect mix for the family. But it was just kind of. It's been a hard transition to get here.
I think as long as the balance is there, it's going to be fine. It's just going to take some adjustment.
How do you feel about that change, though? Because that's a huge change for you. I mean, what are the dynamics in your support system? What support system do you have with that? Because
what is this said support system you speak of? Who? Me?
Yes, what is your support system?
Friends, family, you have other play moms?
You know, it really is him. It really is my husband, you know, getting on board with me and saying, okay, I'm going to help you. You know, we're going to do this together. Because I know there are plenty of women out there who don't get that. They don't get the husband on board. And they've got to figure it out on their own. So I don't know how they do it, but I did need my husband on board for this, and it was rough. It was rough getting here.
Well, I mean, I know when I went back to work after having my son, well, both sons. It was really, really difficult. But I think you just make it work. It just somehow your instincts kicked in, and you get support that you don't know you had, and you just can't worry too much about it.
Selena, I know you love him, but I'm going to tell from my experience, no one will take care of your child the way that you take care of him.
No, they won't.
You have to trust that you've instilled something in him, and the village around you will support your decision. So we applaud you for that, and you have us.
I know, you are my support system, that's for sure. And he's got a great school, so I trust he's going to be okay. Right. But I'm going to miss my time with my little buddy.
But you know what? You're going to do something for yourself that's important to you, and that's going to make you a better mom too.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you guys talking me through this. All right, we'll be back with more Every Way Woman.
You'll be fine. I will be.
Here's Every Way Woman.
And we are back with my co-host Jeslyn, who is known for her signature salads. What are we making today?
Yes, ma'am. We're making my favorite. It's a strawberry spinach salad. Strawberries are good year-round here in California, so lucky us. I brought my chef's hat, but you don't need to be a chef to make a good salad, which is the best part. So we're going to start with the spinach. If you could chop that for me.
Ooh. Okay, how do I chop it though?
Just, give it a good chop. Chop it out into four, the whole pile.
Interesting.
I prefer to have salad, any kind of greens chopped. Even do this in a restaurant. You can ask them to do it in the back.
I never chop salad.
It's the best. You get more of the extra bits in the bite, and that way you also don't have that weird stem hanging out of your mouth. I'm not a rabbit. I'm guilty for that. Leaf. I just want to get a few greens.
Is this okay?
That is perfect. Okay. So let's put that all in the salad.
Okay.
The great thing about salads too is that the recipe doesn't have to be exact. So these are my favorite ingredients for the salad, but you can add a little of this and that as you prefer, right? So next we're going to add some couscous.
Couscous. I remember having that with you once.
I introduced Anna to couscous. She thought it was super exotic, but it's as easy as rice. All you have to do is take 1 cup couscous to 1.5 cups of water. You're going to cover it, let it simmer 5-10 minutes, and you've got it. I just keep it right in my fridge, already ready to go. So I can just add a little bit of this. You can also add quinoa or something like that.
How much do you put?
As much as you like. I don't want my salad to be too grainy. So I would probably put 1/2 cup and leave the other 1/2 cup in the fridge for yourself.
Got it.
Then I like to add some red pepper. If you want to go ahead and do that with the red pepper, we already have it diced up because I like to have some big chunks of red pepper in there.
Interesting. Okay.
And look how colorful it makes the salad.
It does.
Really, who wants to eat beige? Not
Is there
me.
a specific amount?
No, as much as you want. I would probably say like 1/4 cup red pepper, maybe 2. Then we're going to go to the chopped onion. Now, red onion is tricky because everybody's going to tell you they don't like onion. And nobody wants a big bite of onion, especially before a date.
Do we put a little bit or a lot?
Put it all in there because we're going to disguise it. So then just give this a good toss when we're done with it, and nobody will even know the red onion's in there. It's completely disguised. So for protein, I like to add nuts. You could add chicken if you want, but I add slivered almonds. If you want to just add, maybe not all of those, just a little bit. Also gives it a little crunch.
What kind of onions are
It's not an onion, that's an almond, girl.
Oh,
so then I add some dried cranberries. You can add, if you need trail mix or whatever dried fruit you have in your house, put them all in there. And my last but not least, the strawberries, the best part of the salad.
Strawberries with onions and red peppers.
I know, who knew, right? So put it, as much as you want on there because you really want a strawberry in every single bite, right?
Oh God, these are good. Okay.
They're so good. And then just a little dash of black pepper. Your favorite fat-free balsamic vinaigrette, little olive oil, whatever dressing you prefer. Genius.
Who knew it would be that easy to get Jeslyn's recipe on everywaywoman.com. Stay tuned as we get to know more about Every Way Woman.
Here's Every Way Woman.
This is Everyday Glam, and we're getting to know our very own spicy Latina pinup cover, Ms. Anna. Congratulations on this. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
By the way.
Thank you.
So tell me, what are you wearing in this photo?
Stop staring.
I can't stop staring.
That's what the clothing line is. Stop staring.
Stop staring. What did you think when you first saw yourself on a magazine cover?
Honestly, I couldn't really imagine it. So when it came out, I was like, whoa, that's me. Like, you know?
Yeah, women dream of being on a cover of a magazine. Was this one of your dreams?
Honestly, it's never really been a dream, but I did it for a purpose.
What?
So, wow. Well, I'm a makeup artist, so I tend to do makeup on people, you know, and I'm always behind the scenes. So when I got offered to be in front of the camera, I thought of more of our girls that are curvier and bigger, curvier, you know. And
you represent.
And the Latinas, you know. So I thought, what better way to get in front of the camera and show them, you know what, if this is your dream, you can do it.
Curvy is beautiful. So you run your own makeup and hair business.
Yes.
What was your motivation behind that?
My motivation, obviously we help a lot of nonprofit organizations, and it's really when you go out and do hair and makeup on like cancer patients, on foster care, it's making them up, doing makeovers and seeing their face light up and be like, you made me, you know, and crying, you know.
Does makeup and hair make you feel a certain way?
Yeah, it does. It makes me feel, well, when I do pinup, it kind of gets my alter ego out.
What do you mean your alter ego? I mean, you're already pretty spicy. What do you mean?
Well, I am also known as Boss Lady on the radio, and
here on set.
We have a boss.
Yes.
but my alter ego comes out, and
Okay.
I become that radio person. I become the person with the red rose, even though I'm not wearing it today. It's invisible. We'll
So
talk
how do
about
you
that.
feel without the makeup, without the hair, without the boss lady?
Well, I've learned through the show to kind of create my invisible rose where I'm comfortable with myself now. Before, I felt like I had to wear the rose and I had to, be having my alter ego, but now it's kind of combined. I've learned to be myself, and I love it through the show.
So tell me, what is a pinup?
Well, you know what? I feel like nowadays it gets misinterpreted. A lot of the times when people hear the word pinup, they feel like it's, Playboy, centerfold, but I feel like pinups are very classy and
But
tasteful.
still sexy.
Yeah, and still sexy.
And
Yeah.
very feminine.
Definitely.
How do you feel when you're dressed up in the pinup?
Very sexy. Very nice. I don't know.
So, pinups for vets.
I partner up with Pinup for Vets, and I am actually in their calendar in December as one of the volunteers. But this, it's kind of good that you mentioned it, because I feel like a lot of the times it has happened where we go visit, sometimes they feel like, because we say pinups, sometimes they don't let us on their bases.
Maybe a bad reputation.
Well, the word pinups, not the nonprofit. The nonprofit, they should research, because the nonprofit gives back to the community. And because it has the word pinups, it gets misinterpreted.
Well, thank you for always giving back and making us feel beautiful.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for more Everyway Woman when we come back.
Here's Everyway Woman.
Part of being an everyday woman is being able to do it yourself. And we've got our favorite DIY expert with us today, Yolando, showing how to make a old pillow new again. And I can't afford to go and buy a bunch of new pillows, but I've got a few lying around. What can I make?
Well, what you can do, simple things. You could get some fabric, cut it to the size of the pillow that you have. And I'm not a great sewer at all, but what you can do is
definitely not a seamstress.
You can sew it from the outside this way, or another great thing that they have is just the glue on. So what you have,
that's super
the glue
easy.
on strips. So what you do is you place it in here, and then you just iron it on, and it glues the fabric together.
And why is it inside out?
Well, you want to do it inside out, so when you turn it outside in, it's going to create nice clean seams for you.
Just like this one we have lying around on our set.
So you can see maybe it's not the most perfect on the inside, how this one was, but on the outside it's very seamless.
I think imperfections just give it a little character.
It does. It's that shabby chic look, bringing it back.
That's right. Stay tuned for more great DIY tips on Everyway Woman. We'll be right back. Everyway Woman celebrates tomorrow's stars, and today we have Chicago's very own award-winning stand-up comedian, Taquita Love, my very funny girl. So tell me, what is it like to be a woman in the man's world of comedy?
Okay, well, it's challenging. It is.
How's it challenging?
It's challenging because like men have an expectation of what they think women should say.
And shouldn't say.
Yeah, and shouldn't say. We're always looked at as a sex symbol no matter what anyway. So when they see us, they want us to talk about, you know, sex. They want us to talk about chauvinistic stuff. They want us to talk about vulgar things. And like, if you don't do that, then you're looked at differently. Like, you know.
So are you looked at differently?
I am. I actually, because guys, when they see me perform, for one, the first thing is that they think that they never think I'm the comedian. They think that I am the girlfriend to the comedian that I'm sitting next to.
Because you are sexy. I mean, you do have it going on.
Well, women should be sexy, right?
Right.
All the
so
time.
You don't feel like you have to play down your pretty?
At times I do. Honestly,
really?
I want to say I do because it's weird because like the women that are like, I don't want to say less attractive, but the women that are very, very like the overweight women, the less attractive women, then they're looked at differently. They're looked at like more serious about the craft.
Oh, those comedians.
Right. And then when women that are like more, you know, more attractive, then they're looked at as like, oh, they're just trying to get into show business. They don't even care about comedy. So it's really challenging because I have to prove that I'm actually a comedian. I do the work. You know, I do open mics. I study. I write. You know what I mean? Like I do it, and
You're dedicated.
I am, and you know, so that's the only way to get respect.
So, do you think that you've really found your niche in being funny in comedy?
You know, I think that slowly but surely is becoming more vivid to me. Yes.
Is this your way of expressing yourself?
Yes, definitely.
How so?
I kind of look at it as like my Sasha Fierce. You know how Beyonce is like, she had the Beyonce and then like the Sasha Fierce.
Okay.
It's like what everybody expects you to be.
You've got
like,
your little alter ego going on.
Right. And
okay.
so like, this is my chance to be like, you know, who I am inside without caring what people think.
Well, let's see your Sasha Fierce. Take it away.
Thank you. Let's see. Okay, so like I said before, I don't know if you guys know, I'm from Chicago, and I just got back from a wedding. I came home. I'm just gonna say it like this: like I feel like some traditions just need to die. Like whoever said catching a bouquet at a wedding means you're next to get married, y'all, that's a lie. I've caught like 13 bouquets. You see this? Nothing. You know what? What's worse is that I feel like weddings give you a false sense of romance, like especially for women. So we have to be careful what type of man we take with us to a wedding. I slipped up. Like I took a dude just because he was fine, but he was a sandwich specialist at Jersey Mike's. Y'all laughing, don't trip. He had a side hustle because y'all know how we love those hustlers. He sold T-shirts out of his cousin's car because his car was in transition or something like that. That's what he said. But anyways, like I said, you have to be careful at a wedding because you will get caught up in the hype. You got the flower girl tossing the flowers down. You have the ring bearer presenting the ring. Then all the bridesmaids look good because they got on the same color, no matter how big they are. Then all the groomsmen, these brothers look good because they have on suits. Or let me tell you something about a suit on a man. Like a suit on a man is an instant upgrade. Like it'll take you from coach to first class immediately. So you could be homeless with no teeth. But if you got a suit on, I might listen to what you have to say, is what I'm saying. So like I said, I'm at this wedding with this fool. He has a suit on, so I automatically forget his flaws. And then now they're exchanging vows. And the bride is saying, oh, baby, I prayed for you, and God sent me my king. And the groom is saying, well, baby, when I met you, I was a boy, and because of you, I'm a man. Y'all, I'm getting so caught up in the hype. I'm looking at this fool thinking about having his babies. Y'all, I got so caught up, I helped him sell T-shirts at the reception. It was like, okay, 1 for $15. Okay, 2 for $20. 2 for $20. I start introducing him as my fiance. Like, Auntie Laura, I want you to meet my fiance, Jay. Oh, no, I don't know his last name. Just the letter J, not J-A-Y or J-A-E.
Last names don't always matter, do they?
Not at all.
Not at all. Thank you so much for being with us today on Every Way Woman. We look forward to having you back.
Okay.
Very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Every Way Woman gives back to our community. To find out how you too can donate and match our gifts of undergarments to needy children, find more information on everywaywoman.com. Thanks for getting to know Every Way Woman.